Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Buzz with Boom and B. I'm the host, Bernitra, aka Boom and B, and I'm so excited about today. Today, we have a very special guest. She's an art director and educator, and also the founder of Free Juice. I would like to introduce my little cousin, Allison Stewart.
Oh, I love it. I'm so proud of you, Boom and Bree. I'm so happy to be on this with Benicia. I'm so happy to that you had me on here. I'm just so happy for your success. So this
Oh,
is beautiful. I'm just so grateful to be here.
thank you so much. I'm glad you came. You talk about my success, but I definitely want to get into you. Can you let the viewers know who you are? Tell them a little bit about
Just a
yourself.
little bit. Okay, so my name is Allison Retina Stewart. I am an art director, like Bernitra said. I'm an educator of 6 months, but really just of the last decade. Really, I love to help people. I love to teach, and now I'm just in this chapter of my purpose. I have a nonprofit, Free Juice, which connects emerging photographers with people who are in the industry. I was previously an art director, so just having those opportunities and where the free juice comes from is me getting to the totem pole and having to go to New York and having to make all these pivots and sacrifices. Free Juice is a community that gives all of that back. We're headquartered right here in Houston. We were founded in New York, and yeah, I just don't want people to have to go across the country to live their dreams. So it's just a community of BIPOC creators.
Okay. Um, so where do you see free juice going in 2025?
In 2025, I see it going I see it going to the top. I mean, I really feel like I always put a limit on things,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like 2025 is just it's limitless. That was my word for 2024, but 2025 is just all those seeds that were planted, everything that we did. We had 2 events this year. We had another year 2 of our mentorship program of our cohort. So we just graduated 6 mentees. We had 13 people that were a part of this cohort. So next year, every year, we want to get bigger. We want to get better. We want to touch as many young people as possible across the world. This last cohort that we just finished, we had a mentee in India. We had
Oh.
a mentee in LA, Houston, New York. So it's just, I'm so grateful to be able to touch so many people. And this is a smaller cohort. So, as much as we just keep getting the word out there, we keep staying true, we keep the integrity pure, and everything will manifest as it's supposed to.
So if someone was interested in becoming a mentee for free juice, how do they do that?
Sign up, sign up. But last year we had so many like applicants,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really just about the mentors. We need more mentors. We need more people of color that are in these leadership positions, that are creators, that want to give back. So that's our cap. As many mentors we have, the more mentees we can have. So we just encourage the mentees to continue to apply, continue to stay, just tapped in with what we're doing, and continue to create, because we're our intentions is to have these cohorts every year, whether big or small. So we're just trying to tap in and trying to just bring people together and meet people where they're at. So yeah, I would say just apply.
Okay, so provide the people with the Insta, the social handles
Okay.
for free juice.
Free juice. Okay,
And
so
you, and
and me
yourself also,
and
correct?
myself. Okay,
Yes.
so I am at Allison Retina, Allison Retina, like a I, Retina, Retina, and Free Juice is at Free Juice Inc. And then our website is www.freejuice.info.
Okay.
Please
Yes.
follow us.
Please follow.
Send us a email. I respond to everything. So we just love to anybody who reaches out, we find a place for them to be. Is because at the end of the day, it's just a community, and we're just figuring it out day by day.
I'm so happy to have you here. So, for you guys who don't know, Allison actually did my professional headshot when I first got into real estate.
I was just looking at that.
And everybody loved that picture. And when they saw it, they were like, that looked like a cover to a book. So if you guys don't know, I'm getting ready to release my book. I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to me. And guess who's gonna shoot the cover?
Listen, guess who's gonna more importantly, guess who's gonna be on the cover,
Oh.
okay? Let's give you your flowers
Oh.
because no, you have been working on this for a long time, and I
Yes.
know it takes effort. I know you've been up late. I know that you've had trials, tribulations, not even that, but just like the bulk of the story is about all of these evolutions. And you big cuz, so we have these conversations. I'm just so proud of you.
Yes.
I'm glad to be able to witness this evolution that you're on and be a part of this book and take
Yes.
this cover. Woo!
Yes, yes.
You know?
So tell the people about your photography resume. Like, just give them a run because you made some big moves. Who have you worked with and for? Just give the people a little taste.
So I started out in photography. Um, just shooting around the high school. I was always like shooting something, filming something, whether it was my film camera or my video camera.
Mhm.
Lily knows, like Lace. You remember Lace? LACE, when it was me, Crystal, Elena, and Lily, and we
Oh,
had the
y'all had a
in
little
group.
group?
We had a little
Oh,
group.
girl, I missed that.
We
Where
had
was
a
I?
I don't
I
know.
mean, y'all was in high school, so I was a
You
young
was doing
adult.
you. You was doing
Yeah,
that
I
was the
was,
age when
yeah,
you was probably
probably
doing you.
getting ready to have children.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I just remember those times just always having that camera around
Hmm.
and just like filming my friends and just like always just like I love to interview people. I love to ask questions. So that was always like my tool to ask people questions.
Hmm.
And and so yeah, as far as I can remember, I've always had a camera, but I started taking it seriously um and going to college when I had to because I got denied and I going to art school 3 times as a fashion designer, what I thought I was,
Hmm.
and then I, applied again to Parsons for their photography program, and I got in, and I was just like, "Okay." So I went to Parsons, I graduated from Parsons, then from there, I went and I was a brand photographer for, organization called Fight Ball, which is an underground street ball league in New York. Loved it. Toured the country, shooting players and creating player profiles. Did all the stuff in the arena. It was beautiful. I loved that job, and the people. And then from there, I've shot at a portrait studio. I've I've been in the industry as far as like I got my start as an intern at the Source magazine, and then I went on to shoot concerts for a while. That was 4 or 5 years. That's when I was young, and I was on the move, and I was
You
shooting everything every
so
night.
what concerts? Like, who are some of the biggest like concert artists that
I
you have?
think the ones that I really remember, like, as far as, like, stepping stones,
Yeah.
my first concert that I ever shot was, it was this underground rapper called named Rob Fresh. He was in New York, and I went to this party, and it was like his mixtape release party,
Hmm.
and I was shooting, and I was like, oh, this is fun. This is what I came to New York for. It was like the first 3 months, and then I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be in this. I want to
In the
night
mix.
in the mix.
Yes.
This is how I'm gonna meet people and really progress. So then. I just started shooting everything. I was shooting the mayor's events. I was shooting all kinds of stuff. I was shooting my biggest concert that I remember shooting was Nas. 'Cause I was able to like it was backstage, and I'll never forget this.
Nas.
Nas. I
Great.
love
The
Nas.
goat. Me
Like
too. I
that is the
love
only
Nas.
person to this day that I ever gotten like starstruck over. I remember I was shooting a concert in Brooklyn, and he was coming by, and I didn't see like I love Nas, like love. And so he was coming, and Busta Rhymes was right here. And I was trying to say something to Nas, and Busta Rhymes security guard, like, no, no, man, grab my arm. Like the most it was so funny.
He was aggressive.
He was very aggressive.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the type of just concerts that I was into. I was shooting celebrities, did some assisted with magazine covers. Then I went to NBA as a photo editor. Then that's when I kind of like put put my camera down and really just started focusing on just like the more the editing side of things, like, okay, what are we going to do with all these pictures, and really just starting to transition more into like the business acumen of it all, now seeing it like in hindsight is
Insight.
2020. So yeah, that after yeah, I'm at the NBA now. I'm still shooting. I'm at Rucker Park. I'm shooting. I'm meeting people. I'm on the scene, and yeah, photo editing was a really just a great transition because I was able to still be in the mix, still see everything, but hone in on that craft. And then went to the agency after the NBA for 3.5 years. Then COVID happened, so I went to
Yes.
an agency, still a photo editor, still doing like curation and stuff.
Hmm.
Still my camera's down, and then after the agency, there was a portion where I was picking up my camera again. So at the beginning of this year, I shot a game for the
Hmm.
NBA, a Rockets game.
Hmm.
So I'm always like in and out,
In and
like
out.
doing things.
Hmm.
And then I went to Facebook where I was the art director, photo art director for 10 months. And then I was on a pause. God put me on a pause for a year where I was just after my contract was up at Facebook, I just had time to sit and just to be still. And me and my fiance moved into a
Shout
new
out to
house.
Sterling.
Started shout out to
Shout out to
shout
the
out to
house.
my
The
boo, okay?
house.
Shout out to the house.
Shout out to Sterling. Shout out to the house.
Shout out to the house, yes.
Yes.
And I had just a break, like, because I've been moving since 17. I graduated high school early, I've been working. So last year was the year where I just took a break, put the camera down, just focused on how I am as a creator at 32 now, as opposed to like 21 or 19 when I first picked up the camera and started running. So
Well, I definitely need you behind the camera. No, for real, you create magic.
I'm gonna
And
come out the camera.
yeah.
I'm gonna be behind the camera for you.
Oh, thank you. I
I
love
step
you.
behind there for the right intentions.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love how when you was telling me your story, you kind of like breezing through it. Like, yeah, I work for the NBA. Like, that's a small thing. No, that is super large. That's
I
large. And
appreciate.
then Facebook. Oh, she breezed through that too. So tell us about working with Facebook. How was that for you? What did you learn from it?
I Working at Facebook was beautiful. I worked with a all woman team.
Mm,
It was small, under the leadership of the creative director Toby,
hmm.
which was I glossed over. I actually used to work at Refinery 29 too in New
Hmm.
York. That was after Fight Ball. So I met Toby. She was a creative director when I was the photo researcher at Refinery 29, and we just keep in contact. And years later, she's the creative director at Facebook. And um and after I was finished with at the agency, came over to Facebook, and I learned so many things just about being a director. And just I was coming from a photo editor, and what a photo editor does. What I was doing, I was working closely with my director of photography. So she was really pivotal in just shaping me into a director, and I didn't even know
Know
it.
it,
She
right?
was she was pouring so many gems into me, and it wasn't even like anything in particular that I can think about, like off the top, but it was just like the seeds and how she talked to me and how she saw me. And I think even just like the process of getting that job at the agency, I had just underbid myself when I was applying for that
Not
job,
knowing your worth,
not knowing my worth. And
right?
she came back, like, even just in the process,
Hmm.
she was like, we had a real conversation, and she pitched for me. And
Hmm.
that, even just like that, was
Hmm.
just like, oh, I'm this, like, this how people see me. So even just like that job was getting me prepared for a director role. So shout out to Rosie, love you so much. And So when I got to Facebook, just being in that environment, and having the trust and the confidence to just be like, okay, well, this is what, like, whatever I create, millions of people are going to see.
Right.
And so, so at Facebook, one of the most things I'm most proud of, and one of the things that I learned is just how to have confidence in your creativity. Because uh, man, I say that a lot, but that's really what's gonna separate you from
The
the
next.
greats. Is just how much do you believe in yourself. So what I was doing there, as I was curating, I was directing shoots. I was putting together artist rosters. I was doing a lot of just like analysis, like a lot of competitor analysis, just seeing what's the scope of the thing. And in every position I've had, it's always been to like create a vibe. Like that's what I've always been paid to
She
do,
set the vibe.
is to create the vibe. So as a photo art director, that's what I was doing. I was, casting for the photos. What should the photos look like when you open this app? Who should be pictured when you open this app?
Mhm.
Who are our consumers? Who are our users? What is their experience? Where do they come from? So, just asking those questions and then seeing what's out there in the world, and how can we create these visuals that represent people's experiences, and also just represent us,
That's what I
just people.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So you were pretty much like brought on to like add diversity to it, or would you
Yeah,
say?
I think that they brought me on there just to provide the context for diversity for those conversations. I worked on some DEI, just parameters and decks, and in certain scenarios, I was just the person who who could speak to those things. And we had a very diverse team of women, so I won't take that anything away from that. Like, I was the only sole person
Mhm.
speaking for minorities. We had my manager, my art director was a woman of color too. So what I will say is my creative director put together a powerhouse of creatives, and she is a mastermind. Shout out to Toby for always putting together people that have vision. Like, she focuses on the person, and then she really pushes that creativity to I put like whatever that vision is. Toby can get it out and really just like push you to believe in yourself, and and that support on on a team of women when you're in a director's seat for the first time is really important. So, all in all, working at Facebook was really great, and that was a long-winded answer. But what I learned was
That's okay.
how to believe in myself even more, and how to trust my decision making. Um, yeah,
So when was Free Juice born? When was Free Juice born?
Free Juice was born in 2017, when I
Oh,
was living in Harlem.
okay.
And I was so Free Juice, I call it Free Juice 2.0 is what we're in now.
Now, okay.
So,
Because I'm just jumping on this Free Juice train, and
mhm.
I think I became aware of it, recently because we call ourselves doing a Zen group. We
Mhm.
haven't did our monthly
We're
Zen.
overdue.
We're definitely overdue,
We're
and I was
overdue.
thinking the next one should be here. But tell us when it was born. You said 2017 and 2.0. So when was it recreated? Tell
Mhm.
me. I want to know the history. Okay,
Okay.
tell
The
me.
long version or the
No,
short version?
keep it cute. Keep it cute.
Okay. All right. I'll give you the 2-minute version. You know,
Okay.
I'm long-winded.
She long winded.
Start
That's
doing
okay.
like
That's
this when
okay.
I didn't reach my 2
No,
minute.
but I love the way you articulate yourself, and I know you probably like saying a lot of terminology that's probably going over my head too. But as far as like you're talking as an artist, and if you're not an artist, then sometimes you won't understand that.
I tend to do that. So
Yeah, so
I appreciate that.
no, but with the people, I want them to understand it because it's something that you're passionate about. So it's people out there that's gonna understand that lingo. So you're talking to those people. But for those who don't get it, you might want to just like kind of like
You're right. You're right.
laming it up.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So Free Juice, I appreciate you, girl.
Okay, I got you.
But Free Juice is so it started 2017 when I was living in Harlem, and started as a meetup group, so meetup.com. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's
That's like zenmeetup.com.
exactly
Okay.
we coming soon,
Coming
coming
soon.
soon. So it's kind of like Eventbrite. I
Okay.
was looking for different events in New York. You know, I'm still a transplant from Houston in New York. This at this point was it 2017, so I've been there for 5 years.
Hmm.
But still just trying to find my community. I think the biggest thing that New York taught me was the power of community and power of networking.
Networking, we talk about that a lot.
Listen,
You are as strong as the people around you, so you
that's
definitely need
it.
to be connected. Get in
That's it.
those rooms. So, how did you get into those rooms?
I I put myself in those
I'm trying to
rooms.
ask you a question. Okay, okay, we're gonna come back to that question. So finish telling me about free juice because I think it's so important for people who want to get into this industry to be connected. So please
Okay.
tell me about your baby.
Okay, so Free Juice started when I was in Harlem, 2017, meetup group on meetup.com.
Hmm.
It was called Brunch and Build for young people of color, young entrepreneurs of color. And you know, I'm a foodie, so food is always there.
Me too.
So it was about going to different brunch spots in the city, around the city, and just meeting, mingling. It was about, 15 or less people, really intimate,
Hmm.
and we would go around the table. I would go around the table and say, "What do you need? Like, what as a resource? What do you need? Is it a ride? You know, in New York, it might be something like that. Is it
Yeah.
a ride? Is it a swipe on a Metro Pass? Is it a tool? Do you need a camera? Like, what do you need? And just being a resource for people. So, I was having those. Um, and some people, it would be creators at some of the brunches, and then at other brunches, it would be like entrepreneurs, and it was starting to like lose its like core foundation. And while it was serving people, I always say like you can't if you're helping everybody, you're helping nobody.
Nobody.
So
Right.
it was starting to dilute itself,
Hmm.
and so I was at that point. I was like, okay, we're all entrepreneurs of color, but what is the focal point that
Hmm.
brings us together? So then I took it off of meetup.com and gave it its own website, its own entity. So when I took it off of meetup.com, I wanted to have like a new transform name.
Hmm.
Um, and so Free Juice came about just as a backup of that premise, same thing, but evolutionalized, obviously. And it was Free Juice for creators of color. So then I started hosting events. My first one was in Harlem, and about 40 people came out, and it was still like entrepreneur focused. So I had a braider come, and she spoke about her testimony and how she built her brand. And then I also had one of my friends who performed, who's a musical artist, so still on the creative aspect, but we still had a lot of entrepreneurs come out. So this event, I think we had like 40 or 50 people come out. So I continued to do those events around the city. My last one was in Brooklyn, and right before I moved back to Houston, and we had about 80 people come out. And at that point, the creative community was more so about it was like two different sides. It was people creators who wanted to climb the corporate ladder, people who I had met through the NBA and all these spaces, and then also like creators who wanted to do the independent route, because this is when social media is emerging and all of that. Um so yeah, we had that was 2017 to 2019. Then came back and I moved to Houston in 2019, and so it took a hiatus for a couple years, and then so Free Juice 2.0 came about
2.0.
when I was at the agency. I was a photo editor, and I just realized like the same high bidding jobs were going to people that didn't look like me. And I always was excited about the talent that I'm pitching, but of course my surroundings, my environment, my interest, my inspiration is
Hmm.
people that look like me.
Right.
So I just I 2.0 was birthed by just noticing that okay, I need to shift the focus on even more narrow, not just a creative community, but now we need to make it more narrow. And now we're focusing on the photography community, because at that point I had so many different resources, and I was just like, okay, now I'm moving up the corporate chart. Like I feel like when you get to seniority level, now it's time to give back. Like you
Right.
gotta just give back. So Free Juice 2.0 was started in 2021 when I was a photo editor, and found myself always communicating with young photographers, but also working with directors and choosing to bridge the gap and providing those resources for young entrepreneurs of color. And so to help them get in leadership positions and just know what to do, because when I was after I graduated, I didn't know what to do.
I think
I
a
was
lot of us
figuring it
don't know
out.
what to
You
do.
never know
And
what
if
to
you
do.
don't have that person to like take you by the hand and help you, and a lot of time, whether it's in real estate, like with me, like a lot of time you go to school to get a real estate license and you don't know what to do after that, right? So you have to figure it out. So if you can have somebody great to pull you up, that's excellent. So I'm give you your
Exactly.
flowers. Give you your
Exactly.
flowers.
I
Give you your
you know I like a plan. You
You
know
know
I
she
like a
loves
plan.
plants. We're gonna talk about the Instagram grown in love
Okay.
in a minute too. But I do want to ask you, how is it different, like the photography game in New York versus Houston? Because I feel like it's gonna be like the film industry in LA or Atlanta versus Houston. Do you feel like
I do. That's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. I think that the difference, well, okay, so I'll say New York has changed a lot. So I'm talking about 2012 through 2020 New York, which was a completely different energy. I felt like when I went to New York, it was collaborative. It was everybody's trying to pay rent, so it's fast.
it's fast paced?
You
Yeah.
have to make decisions fast, and you have no choice but to bet on yourself and put yourself out there and market and be innovative. Whereas Houston, the cost of living is cheaper. Where the It's not necessarily events going on, like just like high profile events going on every night. So the energy's different. And I feel like as far as from a creator standpoint, I feel like Houston is really becoming what New York was in 2012. I feel like we're starting to be the place where people come to collaborate, to build, because people are loving that here is you can focus on your family first. There's Southern hospitality. They're seeing that, and they can recreate these things that or the momentum that once upon a time existed in New York.
Yeah.
So I would just say like
The
the
hustle.
hustle.
It's the
It's
hustle.
the hustle.
And I just people are coming from other cities and states and out hustling us.
Mhm.
So that
That's it.
that's what make
Say it again.
that's what's making me grind,
Say it
because
again.
I think about like in the real estate realm, we have all these investors coming from different states and they really taking over the city. So I think about the heavy hitters in the game and they not from here. So it just to make me like change my perspective in how I move. So for 2025, like I'm going in there with a different mindset. Like I was like, how they can't come to my home and I'll hustle me. So I know it's enough paper out there for everybody to eat, but I really want to do great things and I just have to execute it. So that's my thing.
You're gonna do it, and
Absolutely.
because you know why you're gonna do it.
Cause I'm booming.
Okay.
I'm booming, B.
Okay. And that part, and you surrounded by so many people that love you and that believe in you and that see you. So it's all gonna
It's
manifest.
absolutely. And same thing for you. Like with your free juice 2.0. I think you're off to a great start, and because you everything you touch is great. I'm serious. Like I knew you were good. I remember that black and white photo you took of Tilly.
Oh, Oh
Oh my
my
god. I was
god.
like, "Oh my god, that's good."
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to find it. We're gonna have to put it up so it's like shows up when
Yes,
we talk
it
about it.
is so good. Like I was like, "Oh, that girl have something." Yeah, she
I
good.
remember that.
And
Oh,
I
she
know it
got.
was on her trip to New York, and I haven't been to New York before, but I'm gonna go with you. So tell me the next time you go.
Let me give Lily her flowers real quick because that trip was so amazing to me, and just like the thread of this conversation, it keeps coming back to community. So I just want to give Lily her flowers really quick because that is my best friend. That
That's
is
her
your
best
cousin.
friend, which is my cousin. That's why she's my little cousin. That's the dynamic of the relationship.
Listen.
So Leanne Trunell, I called her three different names. Leanne Trunell, Lily, Tilly. We call her Tilly, but
Hmm.
her best friends they call her Lily. But
I'm silly.
she one person, y'all.
She one
She
person,
one person.
and she a Gemini. It all
And she a
goes
Gemini.
together,
Okay, so she got a name for each
right?
personality.
She got.
But you a Gemini too.
Uh-huh.
So
We all in the
also,
same
yeah.
league, and Layla keeping it going for the
Yeah.
next generation. But that trip was so important to me because she came up to New York because that was my first time that my name was in the Source magazine.
Oh.
And she came all the way up to New York, and we went to Times Square and we bought that magazine. And I
Oh.
remember that, and we went to Parsons to we took that picture. And girl, I hadn't thought about that picture in so long, but no, that listen, it's important to have friends like that around.
And you could tell they're friends because when Tilly came in, she started crying too. They did the exact same thing. And y'all are not gonna make me cry. Like,
Listen,
oh
no,
look.
because the
It,
more you live, the more you realize that good
friends are
friends,
few, yes,
listen,
far and few.
I don't
And
take them for granted.
I love the dynamic of you guys' relationship. Like it's a group of them. And when Tilly got married and we took that road trip to Austin, like I loved it. I enjoyed everything about it. I love y'all relationship. I love how they made something a stressful situation. They made it so peaceful. It was everything.
Mm.
If I could steal y'all, I would. But y'all my little cousins, so I don't have to
You
steal.
stuck with us. You
I'm
are
stuck
stuck
with
with
it.
us.
And we're a part of the Zen group. Like, y'all are so dope. It's a group of them. How many? Crystal, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, you, and Tilly. It's five of y'all.
It's five.
I never seen it. I have one best friend for um 20 some years, and our relationship is not as like that. So I really love y'all relationship. Y'all inspire
I'm
me.
so grateful. I think what it really is just we give each other space, we give each other grace, and we communicate. We're honest. We're honest. I think that's
I could see that.
yeah. Regardless, if we we all have different ways of expressing our
Mhm.
honesty, and but I think that's what has kept us together for so many years. We're going on, I forgot, stopped counting
Yeah.
how long we've been friends because after it hit the 15-year point, it's just
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I love
So
him
since middle school or high school?
since high school, ninth grade, since ninth grade. Mhm.
Mine's been since middle school.
Mhm.
I had the same friend.
Cheers to our friends, okay, with
Yes.
our fake glasses. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink 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 clink
Clink,
clink.
clink. Yes. So I have to ask. Hold on. Questions. Lord. That's the great thing
Listen,
about it.
authentic.
Yes.
Authentic podcasting is what we need.
So, what is your why and your because? I don't want to know just what your why is, but what do you think your why is and your because?
That's a good question. I think my why is just my why is because I love seeing I love why because I want people to be illuminated because my purpose in life is bringing out the best of people.
Mm,
That's what I do, and in every role, whether it be a role, whether when I say role, whether it be like my friend group role, my family role, my career role, in every role, I'm just the person that people look to bring together and
mm.
to bring that thing out of people, and I'm so grateful for my purpose. So that's my My why and my because.
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love that response.
What's yours?
Um, I think it's revolving, or evolving.
Mm-hmm.
I think my why is evolving. I definitely feel like my why currently is to touch people,
Mm-hmm.
and help. Like, I feel like I help a lot of people even when my cup is empty.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm learning this year to um be more discerned in who I'm supposed to pour into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my why is to continue to help people,
Mm-hmm.
but just the right people.
The right people. What's
Yes.
what? Who's the wrong people?
The ones God didn't tell me to help.
Mm-hmm. What type of help do
Oh.
you need?
Um, I feel like the help that I need currently would just like strengthen my circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I need to build a team that's going to help elevate me to different places, right? So that's what I'm currently working on because I'm learning to let go of
Mm-hmm.
and when I say let go, just let go of a lot of things as far as controlling, because I have to control everything, and I guess that's why I haven't built a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm learning to discern who is supposed to be on that next level with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my why is always going to be for to help people in my children.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be my why, because it costs nothing to be kind, and I think like the world is missing the kindness aspect of it.
Oh yes, missing the care too.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Everybody is for self. So when I say selfish, I don't mean selfish like um egotistically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean just making sure I'm good so that everyone around me who I'm meant to touch will be touched.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense, and that's beautiful. And when I just think about it's like your community, you're such a you bring people together too. Like your magic sauce. Like when we have these Zen sessions, and we talk about just highlighting those things that we see in each other, and like hearing that. Like so, I just want to say it back to you. Like you are also like your superpower is pouring into people and bringing people together.
Yes.
Because listen, when Bernicia gets you together, cuz will get you together,
Yes.
okay? And then we need that. We appreciate that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I definitely take ownership of the leadership role that I have. But I think just pointing to people that not that I'm not supposed to pour into makes me drained, right?
mm-hmm.
It drains me and it prevents me from doing what I need to do. So like I have learned that I'm not pointing to everybody. I'm being um more selective with who I pour into as we go into this new year so that I can do what I need to do. Because at the end of the day, the people who need to get it, they're going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my children, that's my support, that's you guys. Like, and then whoever God tells me in the future that I come across, they'll get the best version of me and not the half, because the empty cup B is still the bomb, okay? I just want to let y'all know.
Say that.
It's still the bomb,
The
but
bomb.
the full cup B is going to be even better.
That's good. And no,
Yes.
that's real though.
Yeah,
Because that
absolutely.
letting go of that control, just letting go, period. And
Yeah.
I know how it is. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I love to have my hand in everything. I want to know what everybody's doing. I just not even like from a micromanaging standpoint, but just like I'm particular. I know it's gonna get done if I do it, if I do it. But I think that that one of the most powerful lessons that I've learned this year,
Hmm.
God took it all away.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, took it all away, and showed me that you need to delegate. Like you have to delegate.
And not only that, I think what he was telling you, and not only that, I'm sorry, and not only that, I think what he was trying to let you know is that he is the source.
Mhm.
So he's your provider, he's your sustainer. And I think a lot of us don't get that. And I feel like, I keep on talking about this, me having to sit down for these last few weeks.
Mhm.
Um, I had to learn that lesson because I was still in control. I think was thinking that I do everything for myself, and God
Mhm.
had to remind me, look, I can sit you down
Mhm.
just so that you know that I am the source,
Yep. That is the source,
the
and
source.
and God's gonna sit you down to remind you of that,
Mm-hmm.
to show you, no, this is like, I feel like whenever we get sat down, because we both had our moment. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like God is like, listen, listen to this lesson, and focus on you, and so that's what I was feeling too, just having to trying to do all of these different things. You get burnt out,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, the only thing that we can control is time and how we spend it. And like you said, spending it with the right people that fill your cup, and but first just making sure that your cup is full, and not even just full but overflowing,
Overflowing,
so that you
overflow
can.
tax
Yes.
solution.
Yeah, okay,
Let
plug
me
it up.
plug overflow tax solution.
Okay.
We're ready to help you guys. Um, January 2nd.
Yes.
As
So,
long as you have your W-2s, please.
period.
Overflow tax solution.
Period.
Selfish plug.
Period. Period.
Team 16. Have a
Period.
team of 16, you guys.
Yeah. So how are you making sure that you keep your cup full? Just,
Well,
with also letting go.
oh, I just gave it to God. I'm be honest with you. I'm like, God, take the wheel.
Mhm.
And I feel like since I sat down, I've been more productive.
Mhm.
Um, because I had to let go some stuff, like let go the school. I had to just like things that no longer serve me, just like letting it go
Mhm. And
slowly but
people,
surely. Yeah,
the people
absolutely.
cutting.
And um and just like building that team,
Mhm.
so like I think the girls, they're super excited, which makes me excited, which makes me want to perform because my thing is I don't want to fail them,
Mm.
and I know I'm going in the right direction, so I'm super excited.
That's good.
Super excited.
That's beautiful. I'm excited too.
I'm stepping out on faith, honey,
And
like
listen, and then
like
once you do that, give it to God.
hmm
This time next year,
oh yeah.
we're just gonna be watching this back and
Yeah.
saying amen.
Amen, hallelujah, won't he do it
Mhm.
every time? So
Every time.
how has it been being an educator?
It's been great. It's so it's I'm still getting like, that's so funny. It's not funny, but it's like, it's funny to hear that, because it's new, and it's so refreshing, and seeing those kids, like Renitra, those kids, those people, those young humans that are in control of our future,
Mm-hmm.
the next generation, and just like, it's been amazing. But just the background, just coming from that being sat down for a year, and
Mm-hmm.
then having the opportunity to teach these kids, and not having time to prepare for it. So, me, I like everything, things
Prepared.
prepared. But I only had like a week to prepare, and I was so just focused on, getting the onboarding, that I didn't have time to overthink
Mm-hmm.
the process, and what it was going to be like when I got in the classroom. Obviously, like, I had like the parameters, like I want my classroom to have an intention of the day. So we do like intention of the day. We have an affirmation of the week
Mm.
to keep it positive in there. But I didn't know how to lesson plan. I didn't know. I just knew that I wanted to teach these students. So it's been so beautiful, seeing their spirit, seeing them, like, it's half and half. Half of them are creators and know that they're artists, and like visually and like vocally say that. affirm themselves daily and make work that represents that and reflects that. And then we have some that don't know that they're artists or are completely disengaged or don't want to be there at all. But seeing them create artwork and seeing them like
Develop.
develop the
Absolutely.
skills, and it's not even it's that confidence, like, oh, this, like this my background matters, my current situation matters, my current thoughts matter, and like seeing them put their ideas on paper is the most beautiful thing. With no judgment. It's just organic creations, authentic creations. I get to be around authentic creations all day, like people like at their highest self creating something. Like to create something, you've let it go, like, so I don't know, I could talk for
So
I
you're
love
teaching
it.
high school,
Yes,
ninth through 12th, or
9th through 12th, yes,
okay, so you
yes,
have
9th through
them
12th.
different. So coming in
Mhm.
and leaving out. So have any of the students expressed them wanting to like go the photography realm or like the arts in general?
Yes, I have. Oh my God, I have a photography student who's a sophomore,
Mhm.
who's taking a commercial photography class right now, and they use their iPhones a lot. So just teaching him about like depth of field and like contrast and like in the moment. Like after I teach my lesson, a lot of the students like to come up to my desk and just ask questions. So I let students do that, and I give them lessons on the spot, like how to use, how to change the light. I'm grateful to have like a window in my classroom and all this light pours in. So just teaching them about contrast and how to change. And then I have another student who draws comics.
Mm.
So just, giving them individualized assignments so that they can just like pour into it. And then I have another rapper. I got some rappers in my
Okay, you got
classes.
some rappers.
I got some rap, and
Are
I be,
they Nas or more Lil Nas X?
you know what? Hold on, 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 cause I gotta play something for you.
Okay.
I gotta play
You
something for
hear it here
you.
first on the buzz.
Hold on, it's a banger. It's a banger. I
So
will say.
while you pull that up, do you
hmm
see you teaching longevity, or is it something that's a stepping stone?
I I feel so in my purpose. I feel just like it's a I feel so fulfilled.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna be teaching. What
Okay.
I see myself teaching.
That's what I was gonna ask you because I believe Courtney asked me this question and it was about teaching. And
Mhm.
I told her, I said, I believe God put me in the realm to learn how to teach,
Mhm.
but not to teach in that specific realm.
Right.
Like while I enjoyed the children and I felt fulfilled at the beginning, like this year it changed for me. So I think that he was using that as a stepping stool for what I'm about to teach next.
Mhm. I think I totally align with that, and I think that I can't tell. I can't tell if it's a
Because
stepping
it's so
stone.
new, right?
No, not even that, but because like previously before this role, I was teaching seminars like at the university level, but it was virtual. I was teaching like about curation and digital spaces and things like that. But this like teaching with high school students, I'm learning, so I'm uncomfortable, and I haven't been
Mm,
uncomfortable in a long
time,
time.
right.
Like it's something new every day. It's something like I'm polishing myself, and I'm refining myself. I'm relearning myself
Oh.
as a human. How to like what principles do I stand on, because those are the things that I'm sharing with these kids. So I think that I'm so deep in my purpose because I feel alive and I feel responsible when I'm in this
Mm.
role. um yeah, so I don't know, I'm just so present, I'm so focused on being
Okay.
present. But here's one of my students, y'all. Okay.
She finna play her. Come on, let's hear it.
Please don't give me an ad. I knew it was gonna give me an ad, y'all.
Not an ad. We get the ad.
Here we go. Oh, I was already listening to it. My bad. I gotta rewind it. Hold on. This is
She
my
was
part.
see if you don't got a teacher that support you like this,
I love it.
every
Yeah. Art two.
she said art
Miss
too.
Stewart.
Her
Samuel.
student. Hey.
Uh, listen, this is art.
That's an art
We
student.
don't judge.
Look.
We just support.
Kendall, do you have a teacher like that? You don't got a
Hey.
teacher like that, mama.
Shout out to LD to go.
Look, okay. And she putting a plug. LD, that's
Listen.
she's teacher of the year.
I love my
Absolutely.
students. They're just all just so different. And I just want to just help them be great with what I know. That's all.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad that you're pouring into them and the experience that you have is gonna like I think when you have a teacher, teachers are so important. Let's talk about it. And I don't think they get the support that they should, but having a great teacher can like change, your life. We supposed to go in there and pull and I supposed to we like I didn't exit that room.
No, you're still
But
a
no,
teacher.
serious. I am still a teacher.
Mhm.
I teach in a different realm now,
Yeah.
and just we can change the we can change the
Mhm.
trajectory.
Yes, you really can. When a teacher
Absolutely.
sees you, I still remember like a handful of my teachers that just really just like individualize my learning experience. And that's like when somebody sees you, it's different. Your learning experience different. How you show up is different. Not only in that class, but just like when you're learning and when you're like processing information. So yeah, I feel just like an immense responsibility in this role, just to like, I've just to see them, just to
Yeah,
see them, because it means so much more. So whenever I'm getting angry at them, I always tell them, I'm not mad at you for what you're doing now. I'm disciplining you for you 20 years from now.
absolutely. And hindsight is 2020. I think when those kids see that, then they'll know
Mhm.
that it
Mhm.
was with love.
Yep. I say it's with love, but we're
Absolutely.
gonna get this right up
We
though.
go get we gonna get this right up, boo.
We gonna get.
But they need that because I think a lot of time with these kids nowadays, they don't understand. There's no consequence for
Mhm.
their action,
Yep.
so they need that discipline aspect
Mhm.
of it, right?
Yep.
Especially if they're not getting it on the home front,
Yep.
and the kids are so like um entitled. I
Mhm.
think this generation is the entitled generation,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
Um, me and you had this conversation, and I was talking about parenthood because you're
Mhm.
not a mother yet, and you was like, "Oh, I'm glad you said it from that perspective because I never thought about it like that." We see the cute, but it's very, very hard being a parent, and it's very hard when you have to make it seem like everything is okay and it's not okay. So
Mhm.
parenthood is something that's definitely 0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
I'm looking forward to
No,
it though, but I
I
feel like
love it
I
though.
feel like this job is really preparing me for that. So that is one of the things
Oh, maybe
that I
so.
think so, because like my fiance has always worked with kids,
Oh yeah.
and he is like the when he is with kids, like he is so overjoyed. His cup runneth over.
Hmm.
So I feel like this position, me, not so much. I don't have kids in my family. Like y'all's kids are the closest
Closest that
kid,
you have,
that
yeah.
I've had in my 20s. So, um, and now I'm in my 30s, but then y'all not kids no more.
Mm-mm.
But
No, they're not kids no.
I'm looking at little cuz over here, but but
Little cuz ain't little cuz
I
no
know
more.
little cuz ain't
She
little
want
cuz.
lashes, and I'm
Listen,
like,
oh,
lashes, baby steps.
listen. So I feel like God put me in this position to just like learn how to communicate with people that are younger than
Younger
me,
than you, right?
because that's a skill and a muscle that I never
Oh, it.
flexed.
Yeah, I'm still learning that because I think I'm too like direct, like I'm too hard. So I'm still learning that, you know, as a
Okay.
mother. So I have this question that I like to ask everyone. What is something that life has given you that stung? And how did you make it sweet? So, you know, you think about a sting. A sting is something that causes temporary discomfort or it's supposed to be temporary, but it could kill you.
Hmm.
Like, what is something that has stung you?
I think just having expectations and feeling betrayed. Um, just I think I've always so it's interesting because I've felt that way uh a handful of times in life,
Mm-hmm.
um, whether it be personally or professionally.
Mm-hmm.
But those how I made it sweet was just focusing on the truth of the matter. My truth of feeling hurt or feeling whatever I'm feeling, and their truth of whatever why ever they did whatever the action is, and focusing on the action and just focusing on being appreciative for truth and for the experience and for what it taught me. I do that. I feel like um, translating or recreating betrayal and hurt or pain or anything negative into a positive is really something that I've I'm still learning, but I've learned to do. Um, and yeah.
So,
I got I got sidetracked. My
no,
bad.
no, no, you're
My
okay.
bad. I looked at that clock. I was like, "Oh, it's been an hour already?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my god."
Um, so what are tell me something that you're most looking forward to 2025.
I'm looking.
Mhm.
So I was about to say it, but we had an announcement. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting married. Okay,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to getting married. I'm looking forward to looking forward to just like take letting go,
Let
like
it go.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like these last 2 years, or even beyond that, just I've always been like holding my breath,
Mm-hmm.
and but I've been learning, especially like this last year, I've been learning to let it go, and it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking forward to just like really getting comfortable and letting go.
Letting go and let God.
Letting go and letting God, and just like I've been studying a lot of like stoicism,
Mm-hmm.
and just
Tell the people what that is.
so just being having stoic thoughts is just being focusing more on the response more than the reaction,
Action.
and
Okay.
just focusing on what you can control, and
Yeah.
just focusing on the truth. And when you're like have a foundation in like stoicism. So I've been reading the Daily Stoic,
Mm-hmm.
which is a audio book, and it gives you those different principles of just to help you
Mm-hmm.
as on your human journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so just pouring into those stoics and just helping myself just respond rather than react just helps me just go with the flow of life, and just not being so moved when good or bad things happen.
Happen. Right.
Just
And I think a lot of times, I guess it's just human nature where we stress over things. But if you don't have any control over it, there's no need to stress about it. And that's what I want you guys to take away. So, did you have anything else you want to share with the people besides getting married in 2025? Y'all set a date yet? Not yet?
we
Yeah,
have.
y'all have.
We just said it.
Okay.
We just
You
said
want to
it like
share it? Do you
yesterday.
want to share it?
Uh-uh.
Okay, we're not gonna share it. Okay. Um.
It's coming. Your invite's
Oh,
coming though.
I know I'm gonna be there.
Listen,
I'm
your
gonna be
invite's
there.
coming.
Um. And I'm so happy for you guys. Y'all
Thank
are such a
you.
beautiful couple.
Thank you.
It's funny how the younger girls are just setting the tone, this marriage tone for me.
One thing
Cause I love Lily's and Nick relationship.
Mhm.
Like they inspired a chapter in the book. It's after the T I'm pushing P. It was
Love it.
inspired by them, or
Really?
well, really a conversation that me and Lily was having.
Mhm.
So she inspired that lesson that I learned.
What's the getting
So
and getting ready for marriage? What's something that you would
oh, I'm
what's some
not getting ready.
advice?
I'm just starting all over. So I'm not focused on like relationships right now. I'm focusing on me and my children and my businesses. Those 2025, that is my focal point. It's not relationship. I have to heal. I
Mhm.
feel like I still like, have a lot of healing to do. Because I was with my children dad like almost 2 decades.
Mhm.
So that is just like a lifetime. And I thought I was ready this year, but life taught me I wasn't.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm just working on me. I got to get myself together, like spiritually, physically, all together, and then I feel like it'll
It'll
all
all
come
flow.
together. Yeah.
It'll all
So
align.
marriage definitely not 2025 unless God see fit, but no.
Listen, you
For
never know,
sure,
but
no. I don't even see relationship. Me just being on my grind. I got a lot of stuff coming up with this podcast, the book, my business is growing. Like that's all I see 2025.
Mhm.
So maybe 2026, but definitely this year. Just my children and me.
Amen to that.
Yes, absolutely.
What advice would you have
For you,
for little
for
cuz
little
getting
cousin,
married?
I just continue to be beautiful. That spirit of yours is amazing. Um, just yeah, no, don't change. And I think you're doing a great job with the children at school. They need that. So if you are education, I won't tell you to exit out of it. But just I want you to do everything that makes you and your family happy. So yeah, that's my advice. Do what makes you happy
I needed to hear
and
that.
live with no regrets.
Amen.
Amen. So, if you guys
Ooh.
enjoyed this episode of the podcast, I would like you to like,
Mhm.
comment below,
Mhm.
and subscribe.
That part.